Yep, today I wanted to use this opportunity to share a bit about my background, my journey, and what Patsnap does. Hopefully, it's useful to you all spending time today here. So Patsnap, this is a highlight for where we are today. So this year we are doing about 120 million revenue, and we have more than 10,000 customers globally. Most of our customers are R&D, high tech. So those that invest in R&D, then usually they will have a need for our type of tool. And one thing later I will share a bit more is on our AI. So we developed the world globally in our industry first vertical LLM. So that is also and it's really cool nowadays what AI can do, especially in different vertical, is really powerful. Yes. So where our market is where there are a lot of R&D investment. So I think the good thing about R&D investment is be it up cycle, down cycle, economic recession, companies globally, government globally still invest in R&D. So that is why I think serving this group of customer is very good. And the global R&D is huge. So a year about $2-3 trillion being invested. Number one is US. Number two is China already. And that's why most of our customer is also in US, China, Europe, and Japan. Yeah, and among all the industry, life science, pharma, high tech, industry, manufacturing, all these are among the highest concentration or spend a lot in R&D. That's also where our customers are. So we have all the EV car companies, customer, a lot of all the pharma, biotech, like the one that develop BioNTech for the vaccine is also our customer. So we cover a lot of customer in this sector. And one thing I think everyone talking about AI nowadays a lot. I think the key thing is talking to many of our customers globally. I believe personally there is a little being too hype up. But one thing that corporate customer definitely looking at is how to use Gen AI to reduce their costs, to improve their productivity. That is definitely what customers are looking for. And that is also what our tools intend to do to help them optimizing their costs in their intellectual property development as well as R&D. And the other thing about why Gen AI is very important or what I call paradigm shifting is, at least for our industry, we are information service industry. So just like Google, just like LinkedIn, helping user to find the piece of information they want. For us, is helping user to find that piece of very hardcore technical information document called patterns. Not sure how many of you have read a pattern before. Can please raise your hand? Okay. How many of you heard of patterns before? Patterns. Okay. Yeah, patterns is just very hardcore document. Hundreds of pages written by lawyer and just very hard to understand. And that's what we do. So over the last 10 plus years. And with LM nowadays, we can extract all this information from the pattern document without needing the user to read through the pattern document itself. And I think talking about AI, like why Patsnap also decided to invest, why we believe we have edge, because I think first is definitely the data set. You need to have a lot of unique proprietary data set to do that. If not, you can't compete with all the generic model out there. The second one is also your industry know-how. So for us, we are using open source, Llama 3 and Claude 3.5. And on top of that, we further train with all our vertical data set, which consists of about hundreds of millions of long text that is pre-curated to train the model. And for the model, we also do a lot of fine-tuning, RAG, to make sure that when they answer our customer question in that setting, we can answer much better than any model out there. Later, I have a quick short demo clip to show you all. Yes, this is some of the tests we done for our model. So we use our model compared with GPT 3.5, GPT 4 to take the US and the Chinese pattern bar exam, and we can score higher. these are some of the test score here. And we also publish the paper online. If anyone interested, you can search for pattern GPT, and the paper is online, how we do that. Yes, and this is a very quick demo. So user, let's say, want to know how to improve a shoe design. So you can type in traction of football shoes, and our system will generate the answer. And all these answer, you can compare side by side with ChatGPT or other system out there, Perplexity, for example. Our answer are just more technical, deeper, and all the answer will reference back to the actual technical document. So this help reduce hallucination and really give R&D user really know how to dive deeper to solve that problem, the technical problem. So you can understand what we are doing here is like a R&D version of ChatGPT, specifically for hardcore R&D personnel to do their work better, to save their time. So this is a chat as well. So let's say user type in how the shoe traction can be optimized for different playing surface, and then our GPT will ask back and forth, do you have specific requirements, specific material, specific strength you are looking for? And we can do all this behind the scene. So we will show all the solution, and then user can click on it, go deeper. If they want, they can check more. So this significantly help improve R&D productivity a lot. And we will also show real-world example like Nike, Adidas, how they use the technology. And these are the actual patterns behind. As you can see, it's just very, very hardcore. Yeah. For those, maybe just a quick one to share why pattern system? What is pattern system? So I always share this with people who are outside of our industry. This system came out 300 years ago from UK and then to US. And the spirit of the system is the local government grant the inventor or the company 20 years of monopoly right. So you have all the right to this invention. You can monetize it, you can license it, you can make a product out of it. In return, the government require you as an inventor to disclose all your know-how, all your knowledge about this invention into a document called patent, such that someone else who read your patent document, they can replicate and reproduce your invention, and that is the deal. That is the spirit of the patent system. Unfortunately, because this system is under a legal framework, it become a legal document. So it's very hard for even a technical R&D person to understand, and that is what we are trying to do here. So yeah, there's a short clips on our AI capability. And yeah, the last part is kind of what Patsnap is, what we do. We serve R&D customer globally. So, and it's really cool. So I visited many customers. Some of them do pharma, new drugs. Some of them do new car. I tested out their new EV car. Very cool, very, very cool. A lot of new innovation up there. And the second part here is also a bit about my own personal entrepreneurship journey. So I was born in Malaysia, East Malaysia, and then came to Singapore for NUS. And it's a normal working class family. And not sure how many of you have been, like it's the east side of Malaysia, Sabah. It's a very chill, relaxed, touristy town, about 500,000 population. And then, yeah, when I first came here, NUS was a big shock to me as well on trying to adapt. But actually, before I go deep, dive into this, I want to share this actually what I call internally in Patsnap, we have a practice called Lifeline. So each of us do this Lifeline kind of from when you were born until now, kind of the ups and downs you went through. We call this the happiness index. I think this Lifeline is very good for us internally as part of Patsnap culture to break the ice, to let your teammate know who you are, where you're from, what kind of values you have, your upbringing, and help kind of work with each other better. Hence, this Lifeline. And this is my Lifeline. So yeah, coming back, I was born in Malaysia, and in high school, I went into a private high school by Taiwanese, so pick up a lot of Chinese education there. So our class name, for those of you who are Chinese may know, 忠孝仁爱信义和平. So it's very 儒家思想, the type of the school environment. Because when I kind of look back Because now we have teammates, where I have direct report from London, the Brits, from American, from Canadian, from Chinese, Singapore, everywhere. I sometimes actually really wonder how I managed to work with all people from different culture and background. I think this, my upbringing definitely helps. So being born as a Chinese ethnicity in Malaysia, and Malaysia is a British colonized country, and grew up, I love watching, I still do, I watch anime and US movie, drama, and being educated in a very Chinese high school setting, that kind of helped me have that appreciation and understanding of different culture, and helped me a bit in working with all of them. But it's still very different. Like one thing about, let's say, during drinking, so our Brits colleague like to stand on the pub roadside for the whole night, having one beer, and then the same one beer whole night, just drinking from that. For our Chinese colleague, your dinner usually start very early, 6 o'clock, and then we drink the baijiu, the white wine, and then very quick, ganbei, and then before 7, everyone knock out, and then by then you have to already deliver the things that you want to deliver. With business customer, of course, try to get the deal done. With my team, usually during this ganbei, then I try to set them the target. Hey guys, this is what you should do for for the rest of the year. So the culturally very different. In Chinese, on the dining table, talk about history, the last few thousand years, this war, this general. In UK, mostly talk about football, like the recent Euro Cup. So these are very different culture setting, which very interesting to me as well, working with different background people. So yeah, and in 2001, that was how old I am. So I came to NUS. Just now, outside, I saw there was class of 2024. I was counting my one. I graduated in 2007, so 17 years ago. So came to NUS. I think it really changed my life. I think when growing up in a typical Asian family, I think the option or the education get from our parents is you either be an engineer, doctor, lawyer, accountant, maybe that field, yeah. Entrepreneur never was an option for me back then. I think now, definitely much better. So I think when I came to NUS, and very fortunate, attended a program called NUS Overseas College, that then sent me to the US, work full time in a local startup, and study part time in a local business school. So I went to UPenn, Wharton, and work in a medical device startup because my background is bioengineering. So that really helped open up my whole mind. I think very important. Um, there is a Chinese proverb that sound like 读万卷书不如行万里路，行万里路不如阅人无数. I think translate to English is you can read a lot of books, but traveling more, have your exposure, I think helps a lot as well. So I think for me, imagine from a very humble, chill hometown, and then to Singapore, already to me is a big city, big change. From Singapore to US, another big change. And from US, after I graduate from NUS, then I started Patsnap straight away. And then after 1 year, then decided to set up our operation in China as well. That is also whole another big exposure to me. But I think all this exposure really help my mind expanded and able to accept very different, many new things as well. So in NUS, around 2005, 2006, so I went to US, and then I met my boss in US. When I joined that startup, it's only 2 founder and myself. I was their first employee, first cheap labor intern, only I think $600 or 1,000 USD a month. So help them do all the saigang, everything, build a website, do different tests, everything. Yeah, but I learned a lot because when I joined them, they don't even have a business. Actually, after I joined them, help them do the business plan, then they raise a few $1 million, and then use the money they raise and go buy a patents portfolio from a West Coast company that went bankrupt. So the company developed a device for heart bypass, but unfortunately wasn't successful in the clinical trial. So they used the same technology, same device, and use it for dialysis patient. and during the whole process, I had them do a lot of patent stuff. That was how I got to know actually patents, just like house, just like car, like any asset class, you can actually buy and sell. And during the process, I had them do a lot of patent search analysis. That was how I got the idea. Hey, actually, maybe we can do a better product there. So yeah, that is how I got my idea there. I spent 1.5 years in US, came back to Singapore, finished my last semester, and then started Patsnap in 2007. Not really the best time to start. 2008 is financial crisis. Then also actually looking back, I I won't regret the journey I have. It's still very fulfilling, but I actually will not recommend anyone who just graduate and go start a business. It's really tough. I make many mistakes. So back then when I started, I didn't even know what is HR, what is legal, what is finance, what is a term sheet looks like. So many things really learn it the hard way. So yeah, I don't even know how a corporate organization works properly. But anyway, so we started in 2007 in actually on the campus here near PGP. So it's a bungalow, and then yeah, because I'm foreign that time, a foreign student, foreigner here in Singapore, and couldn't afford to rent a place here, so I sleep in the office for at least half a year in the office there, and there's a shower room, and then at night just lay out the mattress and sleep. So that was how I started back then for the first half a year, 1 year. Very fortunate, we got 55,000 from NUS. It's a grant plus a convertible loan. So yeah, I used that 55,000 to kickstart the business, and but still not enough money. Nowadays, of course, with cloud, I think the cost of development really drives down a lot. But back then, I think to develop what we need to do at least $1 million plus. So 55,000 is not enough. Hustle around, do some side project, and in the end, around 2008, decided to go China, because back then continue to stay in Singapore, I think our company will just die, not run out of money. So decided to go to China. It's the first time I stepped foot in China. I thought I have been to US, have seen the world, but one step foot in China is really totally different scale. So full of people. Everywhere I see is opportunity. And I remember clearly 2008 is Beijing Olympic, so it's very, very, very vibrant. So in the end, we set up shop in a place called Suzhou, about half an hour bullet train from Shanghai. And now there is also, we have many colleagues there. In China, we have 700-800 people there in China now. So yeah, that was kind of the journey, how I started. And then just hang on, hang tight. And then in 2010, managed using back then low, cheap labor engineering course in China. Now no more. Now China, my colleague, is more expensive than our Singapore people we hire. And yeah, and we managed to develop a product, and then we launched the product. And with that product, came back here. It's a half-baked product, literally. Like you can see the UI, but behind the scene actually not really working. But then yeah, bring the product back to Singapore, then just like any other entrepreneur, then just hustle. So find our first few customer. I remember hustle with the NUS library auntie here and say, auntie support lah, we got this database, not bad one. And then I think NUS library is among the first few customer. A-Star here. And one thing I learned along the way, I think not sure how many of you understand the concept of product market fit, PMF. So the PMF will keep evolving. So I would say our first version, iteration of product, the product market fit is we can sell to university, tech transfer office, library, but couldn't sell to corporate, just not good enough. But because of that, we get our kind of first $1 million revenue. And from there, we keep iterate and find our next product market fit and sell to corporate R&D department. And we still can't sell to the IP or the legal department because they are very hardcore. They come and check our tool and then say your data is shit, cannot be used. And then but by continue selling to the right product market fit, the right target market, generate revenue, and then it's like playing RPG. Like you can't go straight to level 99 boss. You need to find your level 10 boss, level 20, level 30 boss, like one by one. So I think my very big take away is along the way, actually a few target market, a few product market fit that we do to kind of now, of course, we can do everything now. So that is the journey. And then, yeah, there are many low, as you can see the curve, there are many low time throughout the entrepreneurship journey. So the first one, or among the first one is after I raised close to 1 million funding in 2010, one of them being NUS. And I'm glad to say I really helped NUS make more than 100 times return now, and they are still Patsnap shareholder. Yeah, definitely. The NUS still haven't sold the share yet. So, yeah, after I raised 1 million, I thought, man, let's scale up, let's go conquer the market. So we ran out, I think, from 10 plus people to 50 plus people very quickly. And back then, didn't know what I was doing, how to hire people, hire the right people. And yeah, the product broke down, and then the product wasn't working at all. I mean, when bad lucks come, everything come together. So back then, we assemble our two file server, one as a backup of each other, and two file server broke down at the same time. We lost all the file, all the data, and many things. So unfortunately, then we have to lay off the company because most of them are sales, and we don't have a product for them to sell now. So I have to make a tough decision to lay off more than half of the company and go back, rebuild the product. And back then, I think I already burned half of the money, $500,000. So, and I always jokingly say like, heavy-hearted jokingly say, this is my MBA tuition fee, $500,000. But as time goes by, my tuition fee is getting more and more expensive. So I make tens of millions of mistakes down the road as well. So luckily, still survive now. Yeah, so the product broke down. I need to do a layoff. Back then, definitely one of the low time because I was thinking, do I know what I was doing? I even considered should I return the remaining money to the investor and then just say this is it. Somehow just determine, continue. After spend another 1.5 years, 2012, we relaunched the product. And then met my partner in London. So a lot of, I believe in entrepreneurship, you need hard work, diligence, intelligence, but very important, you need luck as well. You just need luck. So along my entrepreneurship journey, there are many times meeting the right person, getting the right help, someone just have pull you up. I think we survive. So in 2012, met our partner in a conference in US, in California, Anaheim. Anaheim is where the Disneyland is, where suppose magic happen. So always my partner claimed that where magic happen. So I met this Indian guy from London. Indian can sell. He can really sell. Yeah, I always say he can sell ice to Eskimo, and he helped us our half-baked product and literally on the phone and just cold call to the US market, Euro market, and he just two of them. They both sold £500,000 in the first year. So it really helped kind of complete our go-to market, our whole business model. We have a half-baked product, but we don't have a right channel, right cost of acquisition, customer cost of acquisition to sell the product. And with their inside sales, cold calling customer, and customer paying 10 grand, 15 grand, and kind of we complete our business model and start working. So 1 year later, 2013, then I flew to London, meet up with them, and asked them to join full-time, give them some stock. And then hence we have a London office since then in 2012. So our office now is in Farringdon in London. Tonight I'm flying over there. So we spend the next 2 weeks there, and we have about 100 people there, and all are inside sellers from London calling to US and different market. And our Brits colleague always brag that the American like to listen to British accent. They can sell better than the American. Yeah. Anyway, that was how we kind of complete our business model in 2013, 13. And 2014, we raised our first Series A, about 4 million. And back then, 10 years ago, Series A valuation is definitely much, much lower than Series A valuation now. There is a market price. Back then, I think our Series A valuation, post-valuation is, I think 10 plus million. Nowadays, I think it started 20, 30, even get up to 100 if you are doing AI model nowadays. But definitely valuation is much higher nowadays. So we raised from Vertex, Temasek VC arm here, I'm glad also have been giving them good return, and they are still on our shareholder list. They're still on our board as well. In 2015, we raised our Series B from a fund in US called Summit Partner, 10 million. Yeah, I just want to share a funny story here. So the few of us with 4 million also thinking going to conquer the world. Then we went to Silicon Valley trying to look to rent an office, build a sales team there. And then we met this investor. And how we met him is his girlfriend is the real estate agent that's showing us around the office space in SF. Then she introduced us to her boyfriend who worked in this fund. And somehow, yeah, hook up. And all investors, when they try to court you, they'll say a lot of nice things like, yeah, we can help you many, many things. We got a huge, robust HR system, help you do recruit, help you do marketing, all this. And then this investor invite us to his place in down the Bay Area, and then open a bottle of wine, talk, and then talk the term sheet, and then like socialize, and then say, yeah, 100 million is the valuation. Then we were all very happy because in Series A we were 10 plus million. And then 100 million, we were all very happy. Then shake hand. Then we drive back. The few of us drive back to SF. On the way, suddenly one of us asking, is 100 million Sing dollar or 100 million USD? It's a big difference. I thought it was USD, but I think my partner heard it right, is Sing dollar. And we quickly pull our car aside the road and call the investor back. We are looking at 100 million USD, not Sing dollar, and on the other side of the phone, keep quiet. Anyway, we still close the deal and move on. So, yeah, many funny things happen. And Series C 2016, we raised from Sequoia, I think 40 million at 200 plus valuation. And then the most recent round is 3 years ago, 2021. We raised 300 million from Tencent and SoftBank Vision Fund 2. So it's really cool. I think along the way, that's why I really like my journey, even though it's tough at times. But along the journey, I really meet many interesting people, cool people, all the billionaire. Like I spoke to Masa Yoshi-san when pitch to Vision Fund. Back then was COVID, so we were on a Zoom call. And yeah, Masa is just a sales guy. Like he's pitching me, Jeff, you should take more money from SoftBank Vision Fund. Back then they have a lot of capital to deploy. And then saying, me and Jack Ma from Alibaba, we are buddy. I support him many, many years. Yeah. And then next year he sold Alibaba share. Yeah. all entrepreneurs are hustlers. Yeah, all of them. Anyway, yeah, there are many up and down. I think I saw some Q&A here, and maybe with Fireside with Prof. Chen, I think we can talk some of it. But yeah, these are some of my journey along the way. One thing, if I want to recap, it's tough. I think entrepreneurship is tough. And at many times you question the why you do that. What keep you going? So many people ask me as well, what keep me going after all these years? I think along the way, you just have to find your reason, your why. I would say a lot of entrepreneurs I know definitely not for the money. If for the money, I don't think you can last through the dark time. Hey, of course, the side effect or the side outcome is having achieved that financial freedom. But I think it should be more than that if you really want to go a long journey on entrepreneurship. Yep, that's all my sharing. Thank you.